day to get outside and enjoy the nice weather. And Taft talks with our garden expert, Paul James, for 2 News in the Garden.
Good morning, welcome back to In the Garden. Paul and Taft here, and you know, Paul, now that we're in the heart of wintertime, we look at trees and we think, you know, in the spring and summer, all the leaves, how beautiful it is, but the wintertime, it doesn't look that attractive. But you're saying there are a lot of things that we can look at with our trees right now that's going to help us as we move into the spring.
I think trees are deciduous trees in particular, those that drop their leaves, are underappreciated in winter. And yet they represent the bones, the real skeleton of any garden, whether they're small trees, large trees, even shrubs. So I guess I'm just trying to get people to develop a greater sense of appreciation for them and really look at them. One of the primary reasons that now is a great time to really be studying your tree is that we're about to get into the pruning season. Okay. So if you start really giving a good hard look at each one of your trees, you can look at some of those branches and say, you know, maybe that one is going to have to go, or whatever, just to get a sense of how that tree really, how you really want it to look. But more than that, I think, you know, you see the beauty of the scaffolding, the skeletal structure of the tree. You appreciate the bark a little bit more because it's just so visible. So, and also, it's a dynamite time this weekend, perfect time to plant a tree. I mean, soil temperatures are fine and all that. So if you're shopping for a tree, then right now you really do get to see that branching pattern.
And that's what we've talked about really through the entire winter, is preparing for spring. And that's the perfect time to do this, is the leaves a lot of times obscure what we really want to look at, but with the leaves off, you can get an idea of what really needs to take place and get it ready for the springtime.
Exactly. So let me just show you a few, for instance, of good examples of good scaffolding and stuff like that.
All right. Okay, now we're over at some of the young maple trees here. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking at.
Well, 2 different varieties of maple. We've got the October Glory and the Autumn Blaze, very popular. But again, at this young age, you still see this perfect form that's developing, you know, where you've got some branching here, a little gap, some more branching, and so on, all the way up the tree. You're not going to see that as clearly when this is fully leafed out. So again, it's why I love to encourage people to come out and look at trees in the winter.
And I know since it's winter time, we're always thinking of a blanket for us to try to stay warm, but what's up with the blanket for these maples?
Maples in particular are very susceptible to winter injury. It's called sun scald. And what happens is you have these cold periods where the sap virtually stops flowing completely, but then the sun comes out or it warms up a little bit, and then all of a sudden, boom, that sap starts flowing. And when that happens, it can cause that bark to split. And that is not a good thing because it opens up a site for pathogens, for pests to come in there and cause damage to your tree. So we wrap virtually all of the young trees, but the maples are particularly susceptible to sun scald.
Is this something we should do if we already have one of these planted in our yard?
Absolutely, I would strongly recommend it. Now you can take it off as soon as we get out of that freeze-thaw cycle. Okay. But it's something I would go ahead and do. It's not too late to do it, and it's just good protection. I'm not saying it's going to happen if you don't, but it's just a good protective measure.
Just minimize it.
Yeah. Now, I got to tell you, again, I've talked about how you can appreciate all these trees when they're bare. There's one tree in particular I want to show you that is the most astounding example of beauty in winter.
Okay, can't wait to see it.
All right, Taft, here's what I wanted to show you. To me, there's no better example of a tree that's stunningly gorgeous in winter, more so than any other time of the year. What do you think?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I told you it looked like a radish, kind of a radish tree.
It's a coral bark Japanese maple.
Beautiful.
And they're gorgeous throughout the year. But as you can see, this time of year, they just are screaming at you. And you put that up against, you know, say close to a light colored wall, exterior wall of the house or something, holy cow, it just pops.
Yeah, unbelievable color, and that's what we're talking about here. In the winter time, since we don't have the leaves on some of these deciduous trees, we're able to look at the bark, some of the beautiful textures with this bark, and also with pruning coming around pretty soon, we'll be able to do that and know exactly what to do with that tree and make sure it looks good in the springtime. What do you think?
We'll be talking pruning really soon.
All right.
There's a lot to talk about, but in the meantime, let's just stand here and stare at this.
It is beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
The sun's nice too.
Mm-hmm.